Foodlink's the regional food bank serving central western upstate New York, the Finger Lakes and the Genesee Valley. I started back in the late 70s, picking up Thomas's English muffins, and quickly got in over my head, and today we are up to some 12 million pounds of food that we distribute. Our largest donor is Wegmans. Over half the food, we handle all of Wegmans' damage. Over half our food comes from Wegmans. And somewhere along the 30-some-odd years, we realized that you couldn't cure hunger by feeding it. And we've started to branch out into other workforce development aspects and to trying to use education to give kids a different experience. If we don't impact on this diabetes problem and obesity problem, there will not be any discretionary money left for anything else other than health. So that is what our focus has been with a lot of what we're trying to accomplish now.
You might know when I planted the garlic. Yes. 2 weeks ago. Anybody else? Fall. Fall. Yes. You're right.
Approached Mary Ellen Burrs at Wegmans and asked for their unsalables has led to what really was the first green thrust, I think, in this community.
Yeah, we're real proud to be able to take our technology and advance it for agricultural reasons. We've been able to triple the estimated yields of traditional, triple the estimated yields of traditional horizontal agriculture. And what we've been able to do is combine our technologies so that we incorporate education. To Tom's point, one of the things we value is going to the source, and that's the students and the younger generations. We want to teach them about the where food comes from, how it could be grown, alternative ways of growing food, eating healthy, and battling that childhood obesity right from the source. Now, these same children go home and they teach their parents about good eating habits, but what's even more exciting is we're able to grow healthy food in the classroom. One of our classrooms in the Bronx, we've grown over 450 pounds of food. Well, we've taken that entire program nationally. We've done this in places like Vancouver, Ottawa, Toronto, New York City, Hawaii, Santiago, Chile, and also now in the Middle East. So this concept has now broadened our expansion of agriculture, and it's all done 100% organically. One of our first pilot projects, we actually really kicked off a relationship with a local college teaching about growing our technologies. And after they were grown, we actually went and installed them at the epicenter of homelessness in Los Angeles, Skid Row, where these walls today are still producing 5 years later.
It's an honor to be here with such great gentlemen as Tom and George here. You know, what I think I see here is an innovator, an entrepreneur who have taken their skills and developed something that is worthwhile for the entire community and the entire district. And as the First Lady has said, childhood obesity is a major problem that is spreading across all of America and across the world. And taking this innovation, taking this entrepreneurial spirit and harnessing it so that we can get into the classrooms and into the educational source of America so that kids know what healthy eating is all about. I think that's going right to the heart of the problem and showing a way that we can correct it once and for all.
Well, we've begun to take one of our top 5 cost centers, which was waste removal, and begun to have another partnership where we were actually converting that into ethanol, and then with the solid that's left, having that high nutrient dirt that evolves from there to begin to try and grow faster, to be able to populate the walls that George is growing, or that George has patent on, where we can begin to get those into classrooms. You can't. Not every school can have a garden, and not every school is going to just have actually the opportunity to have a wall in the entrance. So we've done 2 things. We've begun to work with George so that we can get that experience right into the classroom. And in areas where we can't, we've now outfitted a bus with just our own contributions, no big grants, and no running around trying to not be able to do it until we have the money. We believe that this experiential type of opportunity for kids, where we can drive right up to their school, their daycare. The kids can go in and see 2 and 3 different kinds of growing mediums and opportunities, as well as worm composting and worm castings. We even have a hydroponics setup in the bus, a small model that kids are just going to be able to see all of these different things that George has referred to, and have that be the picture that's in their head now of not only where food comes from, but possibly where they can begin to have businesses right in their own communities, being able to grow and raise and sell food to their stores and restaurants that are in their communities.
You know, Jim, if I can comment on that. One of the things that Tom just mentioned was really, really important. A lot, and frankly, most of your school gardens start in March. The problem is the students leave in June, so the garden, the learning experience, the fruits of their labor, no pun intended, are lost. Our gardening program starts in October. Because we grow vertically indoors year-round, our garden program actually starts in October and ends in March. So the students get the best bang for their buck educationally. And this program also incorporates other skills such as mechanical engineering, biology. You're also talking about some schools that are creating business models around this vertical farming. Okay, so this is a real application for additional learning other than food. However, food being the byproduct is not an option. So these gardening opportunities that start in October really give you the best bang for your buck.
We do some 3,000 meals a day out of our kitchen, and we started as a way to try and raise the bar of institutional food service. We want to show districts and daycares that you can, in fact, source local, source fresh, source healthy, and be able to do it at a price point that gives kids yet another experience in eating that is not the same old cafeteria experience that in this day and age is actually adding to the obesity problem and not solving it. So yet another experiential effort that we do at Foodlink.
Well, our mobile edible wall units that we've developed for classroom use have become more than just an educational tool. Again, to your point, we just signed an agreement with the VA hospital here in upstate New York to implement these mobile edible walls for a few reasons. Number one, as rehabilitation opportunities. The way the walls are set up, we can easily accommodate wheelchair users where they can literally roll up to their wall. So we can re-implement things that they enjoy, and we can actually take these quote panels off the wall and they can put them on a desktop. But we're also working with the VA in Philadelphia, utilizing abandoned buildings where we want to renovate these buildings and create full-scale what we call GLT food factories. These food factories serve a few purposes, not just for the VA, but for the general public. Now, for the VA, again, they're rehabilitation centers, but they're also education centers that will provide additional workforce opportunities for the veterans coming back from the Middle East. These buildings that we're renovating are now being renovated that become taxable income. You can now, again, have governmental income through taxation, through property taxes, by making these food factories operational again. They're also providing local jobs, education opportunities, and it's all based around one thing that is not optional, and that's food. One of the things we take a lot of pride in is not just training people to train them, but training people and giving them authentic hands-on opportunities where they're actually getting paid to learn. Okay, our students get paid anywhere from $12 to $18 an hour, depending upon their experience on certain projects. We took a group of students that have gone through our 2-year program in the Bronx with one of our champion teachers, and we actually brought them out to the Hamptons to install one of our green roofs and green walls on a $12 million home. The fact is, these students are trained and certified Green Living Technologies installers. So now they're getting paid to do internship work and hands-on authentic learning. The result of this is, whether they want to go into business by themselves, they now possess a skill that make them desirable to be hired by other companies. So now we're also making them employable. At the same time, we're really proud to say that we have a 100% graduation rate.
Well, what you're seeing here is a new look of how we're going to deal with hunger, how we're going to deal with healthy eating habits, and what these folks are leading on is exactly what we need to be doing down in Washington, D.C. is talking to the people out in the front line, the people that are out in the field that are dealing with this issue day to day, and coming up with the new ideas and thinking outside of the box to come up with solutions that bureaucrats in Washington just probably have forgotten how to think that way. And these folks are out there really doing it, getting their hands dirty, and getting the job accomplished. And I'm proud to be a part of this, and I applaud their effort, and we'll continue to be here for you whenever you need to call.
No, thank you.
As we prepare to move to, fortunately for us, a developer in town, Flom, has made us an equity partner in their 3M building on Mount Reed Boulevard. And as we move an old building complex that we just need the space, and it leaves behind our complex on Exchange Street. And as any of us in at least Rochester, upstate New York know, many of these old buildings end up being 6-alarm fires, and are inhabiting this old cocoa paper company, originally the original home of Standard Vacuum, Saucony Vacuum, Standard Oil of New York, Mobil Oil, is our original home, and we're there now, where once we vacate in the fall, we will have the first food factory working with Green Living Technologies and George, adapting that, and timed with us having taken over a small nonprofit in Rochester called Landscape Technicians. That's a workforce development program. They already do obviously border on some green activities, and to be able to take that group of youth and those unemployed individuals and begin to teach them a contemporary skill that can lead to a job, that can lead to a paycheck, and give them the best social program in the world, a job, is the path that we're on right now. And we couldn't be more excited and truly blessed to have this opportunity where we've all come together with George and yourself, Jim, to be able to make all of this come together.
Gotta go farther.
Keep digging. Keep on digging.
Raise your hand if you think you know when I planted this garlic. You think you might know when I planted the garlic. Yes. 2 weeks ago. Anybody else? Fall. Fall. You're right.
We've been fortunate to have some really great partners, but we've always had a hard time here locally finding the right partners, and our relationship with Foodlink is now interchangeable. We're hoping when you start to think of Green Living Technologies, you also associate it directly with Foodlink. Oh yeah, that's the company that works with Foodlink, and vice versa. Well, we're going to advance our technologies even more right here in upstate New York, where we are going to partner, not just employing students and teaching about education and what we do as farmers, okay, or as green agricultural experts, but now we're taking it to the next level, working on the biologicals, okay, implementing all of our technologies, not just food. Okay, we are teaching about the green roof technology and how we're going to grow it and how we can bring those global skills that we're doing around the world right here into Rochester. So the Foodlink relationship is a key partner for us as much as it is for them, simply because we think on the same level. One of the things that we really deeply, truly are passionate about is our corporate responsibility to society. And that's exactly what Tom's talking about. Tom, the first thing he always says is something about how he can help somebody else, how he can put somebody to work, and that's corporate responsibility. But the great thing is, we don't expect anything in return. We do it because it's the right thing to do. It just so happens that it's a marriage made in heaven.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today, and what this reminds me of is how proud I am to be representing this district when you have people such as George and Tom who are doing what they do and helping to solve a world problem with hunger in an innovative, new, creative way, and they're doing it from right here in our home district, in our hometown, and that just shows you the caliber of the people that we have in this district. They're good people, they're hardworking people, and they're going to find solutions to real problems, and that's why we're honored to represent them. So please keep up the good work and know that we're here for you anytime.